This is a conversion hotel, right? So we are looking at conversion rate. And I need everybody to understand that conversion rate is an output. What does that actually mean? You can't optimize an output. An output is something that's already happened. Does everybody get that? See, there are inputs. There are things that can be changed, right? Think of these as the variables. And then activities. These is how you go. These are the variations you're going to put in motion. And then that is going to result in an output. And yet, we're all looking over there, and all the real activities over here. And the metaphor is that most conversion rate practitioners are mechanics, but not architects. And if you want to fix something on a global scale, if you want to think strategically, if you want to talk about the things that the CEO actually cares about, he's going to come talk to an architect. He may respect the mechanic and respect the work and understand the need for it, but that's not where we've been as an industry. Depending on who you are and what tool you're most comfortable with, like anything else, when you have a hammer, everything looks like it's a nail. Okay? And so what I find is that if you talk to tool vendors, the most important thing is A/B testing, right? If you talk to copywriters, and by the way, our first book was on copywriting, and I think of myself more as a copywriter in some sense of this. I will tell you that the most important thing you could do is the copywriting. Everybody has a preference, and the thing is, none of these things stand alone. Because obviously, most of these people are copying from each other, right? We know about this, right? You've heard about it, best practices. There should be like a drinking game. Every time that somebody at this event says best practices from the stage, we should have to have a drink. Okay? What you wind up with is checklists. I didn't make this up. I went looking for checklists. I found thousands of images, right? The 10-point checklist, the marketing checklist, this checklist. You could actually fill the room with printed paper all the way to the back with all the checklists that exists. The one thing that checklists never do is talk about quality, right? Checklist is necessarily a quantitative thing and not a qualitative thing. All of the things that people are talking about are really tend to be quantitative things. 95%, and maybe that's an exaggeration, but not by much, if anything, of the information I read about conversion rate optimization is full of things that you could change that aren't necessarily consequential. Because you're going to worry about buttons, and I'm telling you that within the next 5 years for certain, but it will be a real difference within the next 2. People are going to be buying things purely on voice. So all your talk about digital, about the look and feel of a button, the copy, the this, the that, it's kind of like bullshit. Something that's very simple, right? When we fix it, should be pretty effective, right? It's like a power law of the universe. Simple doesn't mean easy, but it means when you fix this problem, you get a lot of traction out of it. So what does Jeff Bezos have to say about this? Well, he says when things get complicated, right, we simplify by saying what's best for the customer, and then we take it as an article of faith. If we do that, it'll work out in the long term. Raise your hand if this is exactly how your company works. 1, 2. Is anybody too shy to raise their hand, or is this not the way it works in the real world? The problem with really smart people is we're very much like ostriches, because smart people are very good at rationalizing things they come to believe for non-smart reasons. Okay? In fact, smart people will usually be able to brush off the criticisms and they're convinced they're right, and due to their thinking abilities can probably argue most criticism, even if the criticism is right. So if you're really smart, shut up. Please let the other people talk. There are simply clients that want you to do things that are stupid. And when you do stupid things for stupid people, you wind up feeling bad. Stop it. Right? It's like when you go to the doctor and you say, "Doctor, it hurts when I do this." And he says, "Stop. Please don't work for these clients. If you have a job at one of these places, please find another job. I hear that the economy is doing okay. It's probably a good time. Don't create or get caught up in the hype. There's so much bullshit content. Pretty please, don't create more of it.